friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hey, I'm Valine and I love sharing simple and easy recipes for the everyday chef. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 comfort classics that will warm you up as our world is pretty much freezing over. Not only are these family recipes simple, fast, and delicious, they're also easy on the wallet. So let's get to the main event and whisk up some magic in the kitchen. We're going to start out this week with fancy mac and cheese. I don't really know why I called it fancy, but hey, that's what we're going with. So we are going to be starting with a full box of the elbow macaroni. Cook it until it is al dente, so that means about 2 minutes underdone. Then over to a skillet, we're going to add in 4 tablespoons of butter, and let's hurry this along and melt that butter. Then we have a 1/4 cup of flour here. Now just cook that flour all the way through. I am actually going to switch it out to a whisk. This way we can get rid of all of those clumps. Now we are gradually going to whisk in 3 cups of whole milk. You could use half and half as well. I just had whole milk on hand. Now we're going to add in a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. Use your whisk until that is all nice and melted. And then we're going to add in our seasoning. So we're going to add in 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 teaspoon paprika, 1 teaspoon pepper, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix that well until everything is combined. And of course, the star of our show, our elbow macaroni. Just mix that all together and look how creamy and delicious this is. You can really serve it up just like this and it would still be amazing, but I took it up a notch and made it fancy. So to a 9x13 baking dish, I just sprayed it with some nonstick spray, and then I put in our mac and cheese. I did add in about a cup of breadcrumbs. Looking back, I would definitely add some butter or something to this breadcrumb mixture before putting it on top. I don't know what made me do this, but hey, you know, it still came out good. I left half of it with nothing on it just for my kids, so they don't like that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind if you do have anybody in your family that doesn't like that. And this is how it came out, and I'm telling you, this was so good. It was so flavorful, and there's just something about mac and cheese that is such a comfort food. I just served it alongside a salad with some ranch and veggies, and yeah, it was delicious. Now we are going to be making Philly cheesesteak pasta. I love this mashup dish. It's so good, and it's so easy. So we're going to start with 1 yellow onion, 1 green bell pepper, and about 1 pound of mushrooms. Slice that all up. Now over to a large preheated skillet, we're going to add in about 1 tablespoon of cooking oil along with our veggies and a pinch of salt and pepper. This way it can help up the cooking process. Cook them for about 5 to 7 minutes or until they are nice and tender. Once our veggies are nice and soft, we're going to go ahead and add in a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of ground mustard, and a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. You know, that is just how I'm going to say it from now on. So if I'm saying it wrong, forgive me. Now we're going to just mix that all up until everything is nice and well combined. Once that's done, we are going to add in 3 tablespoons of butter. Now, at this point, make sure that you cook the butter all the way through until it's nice and melted, and then you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of flour. Now, a very important step is to make sure all of your flour is cooked through. There is a very specific taste to uncooked flour, and we do not want that in this dish. Now add in 1 cup of milk. You can use half and half, or you can use whole milk. I had whole milk in my house, so that's what I used. And make sure that you cook this until everything is really well combined. This is the point you do not want any clumps forming in your pasta dish. Now I am adding in 4 ounces of Velveeta cheese and mix that well too. The cheese should melt up within a minute or 2. And of course, we need our pasta. Use any short pasta you'd like. I used Ziti because it's just what I had in my pantry. And just mix that until everything is nice and coated in that beautiful mixture. And here is a nice shortcut ingredient that I love using in this dish, and it is just a pound of chopped up roast beef. Yeah, deli roast beef. I wait to put it in at the end because I do like rare, and I mean, it's up to you if you want to cook it through, if you like your beef a little more well done, but we like it rare like this, and this is what it came out like. It was so good. It's definitely a must try. Our next meal is going to be Instant Pot baked ziti. Now this one you can make in the Instant Pot or on your stovetop, but I love it in the Instant Pot. So we are just going to dice up 1/2 of a yellow onion and mince 3 cloves of garlic. Over to our Instant Pot, I have it on saute mode. I am adding in 1 tablespoon of cooking oil, and I'm just adding the onions and cooking them for about 3 to 5 minutes or until they're translucent. I'm adding in 1 pound of ground beef. If you do want to keep this meatless, just don't put in the ground beef. I am cooking that until it's all the way done, and then I am adding in the garlic. You always want to add the garlic in later because you don't want it to burn. Then I'm adding a teaspoon of salt and pepper. Now I have a full 16-ounce box of cavatappi pasta. I've got a 24-ounce jar of my favorite marinara sauce, and then I also am putting in 3 cups of chicken broth and 1 cup of heavy cream. And I do want to let you know, at this point, you do not want to stir anything. Everything is going to cook in the Instant Pot, okay? So don't stir it yet. I just made sure the top was all covered and all of the pasta was covered at that point. Now close it up and pressure cook it for 5 minutes. Once that's all done cooking, we are going to add in 1 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese, about 8 ounces of ricotta, and then you are just going to give this a really good stir until everything's combined. We are not cooking it anymore at this point. And then I am topping it off with another 8 ounces of ricotta and then another cup of mozzarella cheese. And at this point, all you have to do is close the lid for about 10 minutes and then it'll just melt everything. I did garnish it with some fresh parsley as well. This is what it came out like, and it comes together super fast, and this one is a real winner in our house. So for our next family recipe, we are going to make split pea soup. I said, you know, we've had enough pasta this week. Let's start with some soups. So we are going to be just dicing up 1 onion, 2 carrots, and 3 stalks of celery, and then just mincing 4 cloves of garlic. Now over to our pot. I am just heating up a tablespoon of olive oil, and we are just going to add in our carrots, our celery, our onions, and just sprinkle them with a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Cook for about 5 to 7 minutes or until they're tender. Now we're going to add in our garlic and give that a good mix. Cook for another 30 seconds or until the garlic is nice and fragrant. Now here I have 16 ounces of rinsed green split peas. You could use any color split peas you want. Now here I have a leftover ham bone. I actually had it left over from Christmas and I took it out of the freezer, defrosted it. If you don't have a ham bone, you can use ham hocks or you can just use diced ham. It's up to you. Then we're just going to add in 4 cups of chicken broth and 4 cups of water. Stir this until everything is super combined. Now for some added flavor, I did add in 2 bay leaves. You're going to cover this, simmer it on low for about an hour and stirring every 20 minutes or so the peas don't stick to the pot or anything like that. Once it's been simmering for an hour, you are going to take out the ham bone, and I am going to take out all the meat that fell off of the ham bone along with the bay leaves. Make sure you're taking them out, and then I'm just going to dice up the ham and put everything right back into the soup. Give it a good mix. If you are just using diced ham, this is the point. You just want to put the diced ham into it and just give it a really good stir until it's nice and creamy and delicious. I served it with some croutons on top, along with a little bit more of the diced ham, and it was delicious. This is a comfort food to the max. Now for our final recipe this week, we are making white chicken chili. This was amazing. I think you guys will really love this one. It's comforting and delicious. So we're starting with 1 yellow onion, 1 yellow pepper, 1 jalapeno pepper, and a couple cloves of minced garlic. Just dice that all up. And this is how I made it dairy-free. I am taking 1 cup of rinsed cannellini beans, and I am going to be blending it with 1 cup of chicken broth. Now, if you do not want this to be dairy-free, you can always just substitute this for 2 cups of just regular milk, half and half. I would avoid heavy cream because that might make it too creamy, but just some suggestions. Now over to our soup pot. We are going to just heat up a tablespoon of oil and then cook your veggies. Now I'm going to be honest, I would definitely use only half of a jalapeno pepper next time because this was super spicy for us. But if you like spicy, use the whole thing and just season that with a little salt and pepper. Cook for 5 minutes and then add in your garlic. Cook for another 30 seconds. And now we're going to season it with a teaspoon of coriander, a teaspoon of ground cumin, a teaspoon of chili powder, and a half a teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Now make sure that you are toasting this for about 30 seconds to 1 minute until the seasonings are very well combined. And now we are going to add in 4 cups of chicken broth. Give it a really good stir and then bring it to a boil. Now, if you guys know me, you know that I am all about shortcuts in the kitchen. I am just using 3 cups of shredded chicken. It was pre-shredded that I bought at the grocery store, but if you want to do your own, you can do that too. Now I am going to add in the rest of our cannellini beans. I am using a can of whole kernel corn, and then I've got a whole can here of diced green chilies, and I've also got 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped cilantro. This really does give it that extra oomph that you need in this dish. Now just stir everything together until it's nice and well combined, and you're just going to simmer this for about 20 minutes. I topped mine with some extra jalapenos and some cheese, some lime juice, and I'm telling you guys, it was delicious. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope that you got some inspiration for your next family meal. And don't forget, all of today's recipes are linked below in the description box. I have plenty more easy family recipes on my channel, so hit that red subscribe button below this video so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!